Ladies and gentlemen, the Bantams have just picked up another 3 points in the EFL trophy, beating Manchester City's under-21 side pretty convincingly in the end. And in today's video, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions and a bit of a reaction to the match that we have just seen. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try to 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get a comment as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on today's win. Obviously, we started out our EFL trophy campaign with a 2-1 win away at Grimsby Town. Tonight, we've picked up a brilliant 3-0 win at home to Manchester City's under-21s, and we have now officially progressed through into the knockout rounds. We've done it with a game to spare. I think our final game is away to Barnsley. I know it's definitely against Barnsley, but I'm pretty sure that is away from home, so that's going to be no easy game. They're just above us at this moment in time. I think it's probably on a disciplinary record because they've had less red cards than us. That's the only thing that I could assume, because I think we've got the exact same amount of results in terms of, you know, wins, draws, losses, goals scored, goals against. Obviously, we don't have a head-to-head record, so I think that's why we're second in the table, but it doesn't really matter. We have qualified through into the knockout round, but make sure to drop a like on there for me, subscribe if you're new as well, and let's get into it. Now, just before this game, at around 6 o'clock, Bradford City posted an update regarding the current managerial position at the football club. It was announced that this will be Kevin McDonald's last game in charge on Saturday. If a manager's not appointed by then Mark Truman will be taking charge for that game. Kevin McDonald has now stepped down as the, well, I don't know if it's stepped down or he's been sacked. I don't really know what's gone on, but Kevin McDonald will not be in charge for Saturday's game because, well, it's been going on for nearly a month now. The McDonald probably saw it as a short-term thing. It's clearly going on for a lot longer than that, and he's probably just sick of having to answer all the questions and put up with the things that he should not be having to do. So I give a big thank you to Kevin McDonald. Wish Truman all the best on Saturday, but it's just an absolute shambles, and I'll be making a full video about it tomorrow. But let's not deflect away from a brilliant 3-0 win tonight. You know, we lined up with Colin Doyle in goal, a back four of Daniel Ugoke, Jonathan Tompkinson, Kieran Kelly, and Lewis Richards. In the midfield then, you had with the captain, Richie Smallwood, and also young Freddie Jeffries making his first senior start for the football club. The front three then behind the striker was Chisholm Afoka, Harry Chapman and Rehan Tulloch. They were interchanging between them. I think it was more Chapman in the 10, Afoka on the right and Tulloch on the left, and Tyler Smith was leading the line at once more. On the bench then there was Harry Lewis, Brad Halliday, Ash Taylor, Alex Gilliard, Clark Adore, Bobby Poynton and Adam Wilson, and we started out the game very well. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I missed the first 25 minutes of the game. I didn't see a single thing of that, and obviously we took the lead in around the 15th minute through, obviously, Tyler Smith. I think Lewis Richards put in a nice tackle on the Man City right winger. Rehan Tulloch picked up the ball and he had a little bit of room to run into. He drove forward with it, played the through ball to Tyler Smith. He just about got there ahead of the keeper and the defender to poke it past the goalkeeper to make it 1-0. There was question marks of offside. I personally think it might be offside. Obviously, I've only seen the benefit of one angle, but it was still a really good finish from Tyler Smith. And then the second goal, it's a brilliant ball from Daniel Ugoke, just completely out of nowhere, whips a ball around two Man City defenders. Tyler Smith's in, finishes across the keeper, it goes through him. He should definitely save it, but you're never going to complain at a goal, and that is 2-0. Tyler Smith on a hat-trick. You know, it's something that we've been critical of Smith so far this season, is when he's had the chances, he's not really taking them. Now, again, you've got to factor in that we are playing against Man City's under-21s, and with all due respect, just because their name's Man City doesn't mean that they're necessarily very good. They're 21st out of 26 teams in the Premier League 2 so far this season. They've won one game all season, so they're not the greatest of teams, but Smith obviously then completes his first half hat-trick. Harry Chapman whips in a right-footed in-swinging corner, and there's a little bit of something goes on inside the 6-yard box. There's a lot of bodies that come together. The ball actually just goes straight all over them. Someone might have got a slight touch on it. Tyler Smith, it looks like he just taps it in for 3-0, and that was it. I watched the second half in a lot of detail, and not a lot really happened. You know, we didn't really offer too much of a goal threat. Lewis Richards had a late opportunity, but yeah, nothing really clear-cut for us. Man City had a few long shots, but again, never really troubled us. I think they hit the post at one point, but overall, it's a pretty comfortable game, and obviously it does see us progress through, and it's nice to be playing what are considered your fringe players or your B team and still be winning football matches and actually doing better than what the first team or the A team have been doing over the last couple of weeks. But it was just great overall, and I was really impressed with what I saw from a number of players, to be honest. If we have a look then at the match statistics from the game, these are according to Sky Sports. They had 60% of the ball and we had 40% of possession. Now in that second half, it was just very boring. Man City were doing a lot of passing and not really doing much with it. It felt like watching us under Mark Hughes, but they weren't really penetrating our defence in a real threatening way. But they had 13 shots in total, we had 9. They had 2 on target, we had 5. That obviously means they had 8 off target, and we had 2 off target. I don't understand how that maths works. We had 9 shots, 5 on target and 2 off target. Oh yeah, because 2 were blocked. They had 3 of their shots blocked as well. We had an 84.6% passing accuracy. They had a 90% passing accuracy. We had 2 clear-cut chances. They had 0. We had 3 corners compared to their 6. We only won 30% of the aerial duels and they won 70%, which is surprising considering, with all due respect, you know, Man City's team is largely kids and we had a number of senior first team players in our team. Both goalkeepers made 2 saves. We committed 4 fouls. They committed 7 and we picked up 2 yellow cards as well. One was for Colin Doyle for time wasting, which I thought was a really bizarre move from not Colin Doyle, from the referee. He was clearly not time wasting. He was just moving the ball because it had rolled slightly. So yeah, really interesting decision that from the referee. But if we go through each player then individually and we'll have a little bit of a talk about them all. We'll go through them in alphabetical order, apart from obviously starting out with the goalkeeper in Colin Doyle. I thought he had a pretty decent display. Again, his first clean sheet since rejoining the football club, and in games like this, it's the perfect opportunity to rest Harry Lewis. As much as he probably does want to play, you know, it's a good opportunity for him to build a relationship with different players, so then when they do come in every now and again, he's already got that relationship. But I thought Doyle again had a pretty solid game. He had a little bit more to do in this game than he did against Grimsby. You know, Grimsby, they only really had the goal that they scored didn't really trouble him all too much. I think he made 1 save in that game, but Doyle had a few crosses to come for, but again, for the large part, wasn't really troubled, and I thought he had a pretty solid game. Richie Smalls, for me, very impressive. Again, in there, you could tell that he was someone who's had hundreds of senior appearances. You know, he was clearly a level above everyone out there on the pitch, and I thought, again, really, really impressive. And it looks like he's been enjoying his football over the last couple of weeks under Kevin McDonald. Tyler Smith obviously scored the hat-trick, and there's been some debate on social media. Should Tyler Smith start over Andy Cook at the weekend? Should you play them both together? Now, for me personally, you got to factor in Man City's defence wasn't great, and against the big physical side in Wickham, you're going to need Andy Cook up there. So for me personally, why not go with them up front together? Now, I don't want to see it being a 3-5-2 because I don't think Truman can really install that. I think more than likely it will be a 4-2-3-1. Then he'll probably go fairly safe with it because Truman doesn't strike me as the type of man to make any big decisions, and I can't see him dropping Andy Cook. But while Smith did well tonight, you know, there has been games so far this season where he has struggled in, and it's obviously great for his confidence, and I do hope that he can kick on from it, but I don't think he's done enough to warrant dropping Andy Cook for. And that might sound crazy to say, but Cook for me is still a massive goal threat for us and one of our only real goal threats. But Smith, if he keeps scoring goals, that's 4 for him now this season. All of them though have come in cup competitions, so maybe we've got to play him at the weekend and hope that he does get another goal. But just great for his confidence, and fingers crossed he can now build on from what is a great performance and a great night for him, scoring his first hat-trick for the football club. Kieran Kelly, I thought, had a pretty solid game. Obviously got subbed off in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, but the only thing that really concerns me with Kelly is no matter how much football he's played or hasn't played, he always seems to start cramping up around that 60th, 65th minute mark, and I think again that is another reason why he had to come off tonight. I don't think it was a planned sub, but Kelly went down holding his calves again, and I think that is a big concern because in a lot of games when he was playing towards the start of the season, he was going down with cramp in his calves, and again did it tonight on a number of occasions. He just had to stop and start stretching them, and I think that is certainly a little bit of a concern to me, especially when he's a centre-half and you don't traditionally do as much running in that position as the majority of the other positions on the football pitch, so that is a little bit of a concern. Harry Chapman as well, his first start for the football club since way back in April. It's great to see him get 45 minutes under his belt, and I just hope he can build on that now. I was surprised to see him start the game. I thought he'd come on maybe for the last half an hour after only playing 10 minutes against MK Dons and then didn't travel to Sutton United. But yeah, great to see Chapman back on the pitch, although I don't think he really influenced the game all too much when he was playing. Daniel Ugoke for me, I thought was pretty solid in the game. If I was to give him a rating, I'd probably give him a 7, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Great assist for Tyler Smith's second goal, and that's what we need to see more from Ugoke, because sometimes he does something really well and sometimes he does something really poorly. But you can certainly see why he's flourished in under 19s, under 20s football, because he looked pretty decent, but in senior men's first team football, he just seems to switch off at times, and I think that's a reason why Halliday is clearly ahead of him at this moment in time, and I don't think he quite did enough to warrant dropping Halliday forward. Let me just remind you, I didn't watch the first 20-25 minutes of the game, so if anything, if someone had a really good first 25 minutes and didn't do anything for the rest of the game, then I can only apologise, but I didn't see that. Jonathan Tompkinson, finally got to see him get a run out. I thought he was pretty average, nothing really too stand out, a couple of decent clearances in there, but nothing really to write home about. I don't really think Man City threatened us all too much, so you can't really comment on that. Will he start on Saturday with Sam Stubbs? Obviously, Matty Platt went off last weekend with an injury, so it'll be nice to see maybe Tompkinson get an opportunity. But again, Wickham, big physical side. I can certainly see Truman going with Ash Taylor. And then obviously next was Lewis Richards. I thought he had a pretty solid game. I was really impressed with him. I thought we saw a better version of Richards in this one. It was an opportunity for him, and I think he certainly took that. I'd like to see him start personally on Saturday. Obviously, against Sutton United, Liam Rideout did a foul throw. So for me personally, that is droppable in itself. And it was nice to see Richards back in the team and back playing well. So I'd like to see him get the nod at the weekend. Rehan Tulloch for me didn't really do too much in the game. Obviously gets the assist for Tyler Smith's first goal, but yeah, just not enough for me to really warrant a start at the weekend. I was disappointed he hasn't really taken his opportunity. Chisholm Afoka I thought was poor on the whole. Didn't really get involved all too much when he did. Just doesn't really do a lot. You know, there's a lot of times where we're on the attack and he's just jogging, not really getting up to speed, and he doesn't really look like he wants to be involved all too much. I must say I've been less than impressed so far with Chisholm Afoka's time at Bradford City. And the final starter was Freddie Jeffries. I was really impressed with him in the last 10 minutes or so in the previous EFL Trophy game against Grimsby. His performance in this one, I'm going to say less said about it, the better for me. I don't think he impressed me whatsoever. There were a few times where he had the right idea, but his execution of the pass was poor, under hit or straight to the defender. But I thought, overall, I wouldn't say he's done himself any harm because, you know, he's a young player, he's learning his way, and he's going to make mistakes, and I absolutely accept that. But I certainly don't think he did enough to be in and around the matchday squads for league games as of right now. The bench then, Harry Lewis obviously didn't come on, and neither did Brad Halliday. Ash Taylor was on for about 5 minutes, so I can't really comment on him. So was Alex Gilliard, so was Clark Adore, although Adore had a free kick which went just over the bar. Bobby Poynton came on originally as a right winger for Harry Chapman at the break. Then after about an hour, 65 minutes, he moved on into central midfield to partner with Richie Smallwood, and I thought he did struggle a little bit in that role. But when he was on the right wing, I thought Bobby Poynton was really impressive. And finally, Adam Wilson as well. He came on for Freddie Jeffries about an hour, 65 minutes into the game on that right wing, and I thought he had a decent impact on the game. You know, won the ball back high up the pitch at times, and I thought probably did enough to start at the weekend, and I was quite impressed with Adam Wilson. So there's my thoughts on the game overall. Great win and nice to progress through into the knockout rounds. I'm going to leave it there though for today's video. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for my thoughts on Bradford City's current managerial situation and the circus really that's going on once again at Bradford City. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another one. Peace.